What is going on, everybody? Back again with a video. And this one I'm not too happy about, but I thought I'd talk about this subject for just a little bit here and options on how to go about finding movies anymore, because it is a declining market. Movies are pretty much going out of style. Physical media is getting killed off by the big companies, and there are still options out there. If you're like me and you have a terrible time trying to find what you're looking for, help is on the way, and we'll talk about it right here after this. Be sure to check the description below for fantastic resources, including online comic book retailer Big Time Collectibles, cleaning and pressing services, as well as CGC and CBCS submission services with JustinComicx, and my local comic shop, ABX Comics and Games. If you're looking for a pool list for a local comic shop or a long distance comic shop, they can get you covered. So not long ago, I was on vacation and I was looking for the most recent DC animated feature film, and I stopped at the local stores while I was on vacation, and none of them had them. I had Target and Walmart at my disposal, and I was noticing that they weren't putting a lot of new stuff out. It was pretty much empty pegs with a couple of movies on it, especially with Target, or Target as some people call it. I noticed that they've reduced their movie section down to just a simple end cap, at least locally here in Augusta. That's what it is, and it's really ridiculous, and it's very disheartening. When I was coming up, I even worked at a video store for years. Like, movies are a passion along with comics, and those two mediums cross over so well. And going out and hunting for movies, walking up and down the aisles, going in old Suncoast stores as a kid, it's all stuff that really just like enriches the hobby. It's an experience that you get to do. You get to look at the artwork on the cases, you get to pick them up, hold them, read them, and like make the ultimate decision. What am I going to spend my hard-earned money on? But you were happy to do it. You made that purchase, you went home, you got to watch a film, you had to something to keep for it. And nowadays everything has changed, and there's a few factors that get into it. And I don't think it's just streaming services. I think it's corporate greed, if we're being honest. But let's look at some of the stuff, the timeline that got us here, and then look at what I'm doing now to try to get some of these films that I'm looking for. So unfortunately, the first news of all this dropped last October when Best Buy announced that they will no longer be carrying physical media. Now, Best Buy was the giant when it came to this. They had like every TV show you could imagine, every movie. They were doing exclusive covers and cases that you could only get at their store, steelbook editions. And that's what really spawned this whole video, is when Best Buy was liquidating all of their inventory out of their physical media section, because they're not even selling them online. I went in and was picking up as much as I could, and I got the Kingsman 4K box set, and all of them in the box set are steelbooks. And I'd never been a big steelbook collector, and now I've got like the bug, and I'm out there trying to find as many as I could. But it was just mind-blowing to walk into a Best Buy now and see nothing but just more computers or more cell phones, just copy and paste of like the same crap all through their store. There's no real fun reason to go in there. But that was the canary in the coal mine when Best Buy said they were going to stop carrying it, because then right after that, Disney makes the announcement that following Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, they're no longer going to be selling physical media in Australia and New Zealand. They said for whatever reason or whatever decision they made, they were cutting out our good friends over in the island of Australia and New Zealand, and which kind of blows my mind. They gave some numbers along the way that show that in 2001, they had like a 20% drop, going from only 1.97 billion. That's crazy. 1.97 billion to 1.58 billion. Still $1.5 billion a year. And they think that that's too big of a loss to continue. We're talking billions here. Billions, and it's not enough for them. Following that, more bad news came for people in the States here, and this one came out in 2024. This was February when Disney announced that it's shutting the doors of its movie club. This had been going on for 20 years, where customers could pay into a subscription service to get full access to Disney's entire vault. They would offer you your first 3 movies at like $1 as long as you paid full price for at least 5 movies inside of the terms of the contract length. And people were all over it. They had like thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, but they canceled that, and they said the final orders would be in July of this year. And they ended it abruptly, cut it off, and those movies are now only available via their streaming service. And that's where the whole streaming thing comes in. Unfortunately, these corporate suits that really have lost complete touch with any kind of reality, especially any kind of fandom out there, don't understand the dynamic of the consumer anymore, where we want to have something that we actually own. If we're going to spend money with this company, we would like something to own and hold in return. But they're too busy trying to pad numbers on streaming services for investors, failing streaming services at that. And they're just losing more money along the way because people are not getting cut off of their Disney movie club subscription and switching over to Disney Plus. People are leaving Disney Plus in droves. They don't want the new stuff that they're giving us or this digital only option as much as they want to buy the stuff that they're nostalgic to or the specific ones that they're into, or to be a part of something like a club, which is crazy. So Disney didn't just do cut and dry. This is where it gets even more weird. According to the Hollywood Reporter, they reported earlier this year that Disney will start outsourcing its Blu-ray DVD business to Sony. So they're going to be in the business of making movies in the limited audience there, as long as someone else will foot the bill and the risk. The key to the Disney vault are being handed over to Sony when it comes to DVDs, Blu-rays, and other physical media. It's been a busy few months for the DVD business, with Netflix announcing its intentions to exit DVD by mail business, which I've never heard of. I can't get any Netflix stuff on physical media ever since they've been around. And the Best Buy saying that they would stop selling DVDs and Blu-ray discs in stores. Now, Disney has decided to exit the physical media space as well, switching to a licensed model via an agreement with Sony Entertainment. The deal will see Sony market, sell, and distribute new releases and library titles from Disney. Now, I don't know if you've been to a store, if you actively hunt physical media, but even since Guardians of the Galaxy, I haven't seen like these big Disney releases or Marvel releases like covering shelves. Now, granted, we haven't had, but like the Marvels, I think. But I have a good friend here in the community that collects all the Marvel movies for better or for worse, whether he plans on watching them again or not. He wants one on his shelf. And we were talking not long ago how he hadn't been able to find a copy of the Marvels anywhere. No, I did check online. You can order them from like Amazon and stuff, and it looked like there's some places out there. But as far as hitting shelves and stuff, I don't really know how wide their distribution is for any of that. So what I came into find out about via my good friend Sector 2815, who's in the description as well. He told me about where he pre-orders some of his movies from, because I was having a terrible time finding these DC animated films. And he told me about this phenomenal place called Gruv Entertainment. Now, this is a website. It's owned by Universal. So I don't remember seeing like pre-orders for a lot of Disney stuff or anything like that. I don't know if that's like a licensing deal or different companies, but they have a massive catalog. It is a huge website. They have not just new stuff, but old stuff, and they're remaking and repackaging old stuff like you'd see in normal days when a movie would be like their 20th anniversary. So they make a new edition of it, or a new copy comes out in steelbook to commemorate this or that. Fantastic site. You can do pre-orders for stuff like Beetlejuice, and they have exclusive steelbooks with glow-in-the-dark sleeves on them. They're always running crazy cool sales. Like you can get 4K HD movies for as little as $10. That's insane. And right now, the DC movies that I can't find on locally on a shelf, they're running a deal right now on 4K discs for like $12. That's insane. It's a fantastic website. I got a little video clip because it is very user-friendly. I love the way that it's formatted as well, because it's easy to search. They group things by like themes and little stuff like that across the top. You can easily search for like those steel books. You can search for DVDs or Blu-rays. They got it all. And they even do pre-orders for the special edition stuff we mentioned before. Most notably is this brand new Terminator 1 4K HD that's coming out here soon. And I was lucky enough to be able to not just grab that fantastic copy of Terminator, can't wait for that to arrive, but also the movie that everyone was buzzing about, Godzilla Minus One, in that glorious steelbook. Now, they pre-sold these and they sell out pretty fast. And it's not the only name in the game for sure. You have places you can still order from, like Walmart, like Amazon, but I prefer to not necessarily support those mega corporation giant places. I like to see that other places are participating in the market as well, but it looks like it's slowly declining. So I don't know what to do about all of that, but it's really sad. I hope more people kind of get back on board with buying physical media. I know that the streaming stuff can be such a major convenience, and space is always a thing, but I'd be interested to know how many of you out there have actually like gotten rid of or liquidated your physical media. You just don't do it anymore. And if so, why not? Like I'm wondering why people don't buy into physical media like they used to. I mean, that's what we're being told isn't happening, but that 1.54 billion annual business kind of makes me think otherwise. But leave me a comment down below. And until the next one, remember, we Our Legion.